Yo, it's Bernard, and welcome to another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast, where I'm recording this on a Sunday morning, which is unusual of me, since I like to record on Saturdays or Friday nights. But I have to work, so hopefully I will get this episode out to you guys on Sunday. Because I also have to go help a friend at a convention, so let's go ahead and get this started. So, it's a franchise I never really watched, because it's just one of those franchises I didn't really care about. It's coming back for, a fourth movie? Fifth? The Mummy. So according to The Hollywood Reporter, Brandon Fraser and Rochelle Wise are going to be returning to The Mummy, directed by the group Radio Silence, which is Matt Bettinelli and Tyler Gillett. And this will be written by David Cogshall. I don't think I've ever seen anything that was written by David Cogshall off the top of my memory. I'm going to check his filmography real quick. Oh, he did Orphan First Kill, The Family Plan 1 and 2. Prey, not the Prey with, not the Predator movie, Prey. I just want his filmography, not his biography, IMDb. I don't need to know that he's 6'4". All right, so something called The Deliverance, which came out last year, Orphan First Kill, Prey. He worked on the Scream series. The Haunting in Connecticut 2, Ghosts of Georgia. Is there a Georgia in Connecticut? I don't know. But I've seen stuff by Radio Silence. I don't know, like, if they actually directed it or if it was just a Radio Silence production. So yeah, they did Ready or Not. I believe they're doing Radio 2. See, yeah, they brought back Scream. So yeah, and they directed Scream 4 and 5. Oh, they also did Abigail. That's why it's so, like, at the top of my head. And they're obviously doing Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. You shouldn't have put the 2 in there. You should just call it Ready or Not, Here I Come. We would have known that it was the sequel. But yeah, I never watched any of the Mummy movies, like, from beginning to end. I always caught them in bits and pieces, like, and I think it was only the first 2. I don't think I saw the third one, the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Or is that the fourth one? Like I said, I don't know how many Mummy movies there are, actually. So actually, let's go to sequels. Wikipedia doesn't have a sequel page for it. Here we go. Mummy film series characters. So yeah, there's only been 3, so this will be the 4th. So, I'll probably do a binge whenever, like, an official date is announced. Other than that, okay. I'm just glad it's not the Tom Cruise one. My next story. A movie we kept hearing was coming and dying and coming and going and coming and dying is officially dead. So it looks like Paramount will not be making a 4th Star Trek movie, which is part of, if you're a fan of it, the Kevlin timeline, where, Spock was originally the captain, and, time travel shenanigans were about because Leonard Nimoy, may he rest in peace, came back in the first 2 movies as a Spock from an alternate timeline, which was the 1960s timeline. But yeah, Variety reported the news and said that the hope is to have a fresh Star Trek movie. Although the studio has moved on from the idea of bringing back Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Zoe Saldana, Simon Pegg, and the rest of the ensemble from the J.J. Abrams reboot. So yeah, this is just dumb. It's like, so originally, okay, so here's the timeline. So what everyone was told, going back to 2015, that we were getting a Star Trek 4. But then we also heard that it was going to get a reboot. And in 2016, Paramount began registering Star Trek 4 with the Motion Pictures Association of Actors. I don't remember what the MPAA stands for. But then, Star Trek Beyond came out. And then 2017, no updates came out, but Zachary Quinto and Carl Urban said that it was happening. 2018, Chris Hemsworth was in talks to join Star Trek 4, even though he was in the first one for like 5 minutes. He died. He played Kirk's father. All right. They even brought it up at CinemaCon 2019. It was scrapped. 2020. Seemed like Noah Hawley was going to be starting a new Star Trek franchise. And obviously we know COVID happened. 2021, one of the writers of Star Trek Discovery said that she was writing a Star Trek movie, but she didn't say if it was Star Trek 4. 2022, Paramount re-announced Star Trek 4 on an investors call in February of that year. 2023, the only Star Trek movie we got was the Section 31 movie. And obviously, here we are now in 2024 with the news that this is dead. It's just like, why? I don't think J.J. Abrams has anything coming down the pipeline. Just get in the lab and make another Star Trek movie already, okay? It's not that hard. I mean, everybody wants to come back. We already lost Anton Yelchin. Rest in peace. We lost Leonard Nimoy. May he rest in peace. So it's just like, Chris Pine needs a win. I mean, Zachary Quinto is doing fine. He has a whole show where he's the lead on NBC. Brilliant Minds, another medical show. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on at Paramount. It's like, they just been messing up left and right. And I feel like I said this before. Especially in regards to Showtime, like they just announced that The Chi is ending, and something else just got announced to be ending. I don't remember, but they canceled Dexter Original Sin, so they don't really. Oh, Yellow Jackets, that's what it was. They don't have that much original content over there anymore, so like it's just going to be like Dexter keeping alive. They're supposed to be rebooting Nurse Jackie. So I don't know. It's like they're just going to try to bring back all the stuff from the 2000s that, put Showtime on the map. Because before that, it was all about HBO. Because, HBO had Oz, The Wire, Sopranos, blah, 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 blah. And now, HBO is still, thriving with Game of Thrones as a whole. We got 2 Game of Thrones series coming next year, which I will not be reviewing because I don't care about Game of Thrones. Anyway, so I'm going to do some trailer reactions. So we got the first trailer for Percy Jackson Season 2, a trailer for Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, which is the supercut I told you guys about, and an animated Stranger Things series called Stranger Things Tales from '85. So let's go ahead and start this Percy Jackson trailer.
You guys get nightmares, right? I usually get ones that tell me the future. Percy.
You can see the future?
Or try to kill me. My name is Percy Jackson.
Feels like it's been so long since the first season.
You have the dream?
About Grover?
About camp.
The danger the camp is under is greater than you can possibly imagine.
What about Grover? You know where he is?
The Grey Sisters see all.
They only have one eye.
Look who's talking.
Luke! I'll see you out there.
Luke poisoned her.
If the tree falls, the barrier falls, then camp will be open to any attack. Save Grover. Percy, you gotta find him. Save camp.
For the key to our survival, you
Why does that guy look familiar?
To the Sea of Monsters.
Why does she look familiar? right, we're back this December. The hell was that?
They take care of each other. That's what real heroes do.
Kill the son of Poseidon.
Adam Copeland is back.
Sorry!
You can't give up on your family.
Then Manuel Miranda.
Don't underestimate yourself.
Yep, Poseidon's back. Is that a Kraken?
I'm not gonna let some stupid monsters stand in my way.
Alright, 2-episode premiere December 10th. Okay, it looks good. I didn't watch the Sea of Monsters movie. By then, like, I really stopped caring about Percy Jackson because it was taking so long in between movies. But, you know, it's different with TV because you got a shorter window of production and you're filming a whole lot longer. So this actually looks good. So I'm very excited to check this out on December 10th. All right, now let's check out this trailer for Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. So this is a super cut of the first 2 Kill Bill movies. So it's going to be like 4 hours long. And there's apparently 7 minutes of new animated footage. So I don't know if this is more on like Go-Go's story or what, but let's go ahead and check this out. If it loads.
Once upon a time, around the year 2003, there began a legend of bloody revenge.
Bro, is he using AI to replicate David Carradine's voice?
That was the warm-up round.
For the first time ever.
And I have
And rest in peace, Michael Madsen experienced Kill Bill.
You ain't kidding.
He has one movie.
That woman deserves her revenge. And we deserve to die.
You didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you?
Yeah,
I did.
I kind of did.
Go, go. It's technically the 4th and 5th film.
Yeah.
Really, as it was meant to be seen.
And we're talking the whole shebang.
Yeah, it looks like it's just more Go-Go footage.
I've killed a hell of a lot of people to get to this point. And when I arrive at my destination, I am gonna kill Bill. This is what you get for fiddling with all your Yakuzas!
Go home to your mother. All right, unrated December 5th. Will be in 70mm and 35mm. All right, I guess I gotta go. Since, you know, this is the only way I'll be able to watch that 7 minutes of footage since, you know, won't put it on YouTube until the physical copy comes out. And they just released the 4Ks for the first time with nice steel books, but I was like, I'll wait for a supercut, and lo and behold, here we are. So that'll probably be out next year. All right, Stranger Things Tales from '85. Let's check this one out. Comes out next year.
When we started talking about it, was there anything else we want to do with Stranger Things? This was one of our first ideas.
The idea was kind of to evoke a feeling of an 80s cartoon.
With animation, there's really no limits.
I like the art.
Eric and his team can just go wild.
And they have.
And they have.
been able to capture
it's got like Spider-Verse style kind of.
So our story takes place between seasons 2 and 3, but we soon learn that nothing is quite as they thought it was. So get
it looks like a Telltale game, honestly,
because it's going to be amazing.
Mixed with Spider-Verse. Okay. You know, it's a teaser trailer, obviously, so it's only a minute, but it looks good. The art looks good. So my question is, is everyone from the original series going to be providing the voice roles of their characters? Because by then, they've hit puberty. Like, really, like, the only ones who can possibly get away with, like, still voicing themselves are Natalia Dyer, Charlie Heaton, Joe Keery, Winona Ryder, and David Harbour, which, you know, I'll be talking about later before my review. Okay, what is my next story? Or have I been recording for 15 minutes? How about this? I'll do these next small stories because it's all video game news related. And then I will take the break and you guys know what to do with that. So, Insomniac obviously has a partnership deal with Marvel. It's been going on since like 2018. They are working on the Wolverine game. As we all know, that's supposed to be coming out next year. But I will hold that. I won't bite my tongue on that one because, you know, games get delayed all the time, as I will be talking about later. So, the president of Marvel Games has talked about the future with Insomniac, and they said they look forward to making several more video games with Insomniac Studios. I'm just trying to think who would it be, because Iron Man is being done by Motive. Captain America, Marvel 1943, The Rise of Hydra is being done by Skydance. We got Marvel Tokon Fighting. So I'm trying to think, can they do a Captain America game? Can they do a Thor game? Because technically the Avengers do exist in that universe, and we try to act like the Square Enix Avengers game doesn't exist because of the fact that they made it a live service game. Although the story is still good. I was in the middle of playing it a couple months ago, last year, something like that. And I just stopped because I was like, I have other games I need to play that I bought years ago and haven't started or haven't finished. Like, still haven't beat Ghost of Tsushima, but I like Marvel games. What can I say? All right, what is my next story? Speaking of Square Enix has decided to get on this AI train as they announce more layoffs as part of the US and Europe restructuring.
Man, you corny!
So, Takashi Kiru, who is the president of Square Enix, said that they are implementing overseas structural reform to create a more lean and agile business abroad. So he confirmed that roles would be cut and employees would be left or required to spend more time working in the office. Apparently, the Europe office lost about 140 people just in the London office. So that includes staff across IT, marketing, publishing, sales, QA, business planning, and more. And they also confirmed that they hope to make annual cost savings of over 3 billion yen, which in US dollars is 19.6 million. This is the second year that they have done cuts, and they also confirmed that they will be leaning into AI. So, yay, there's that. Marvel 1943, The Rise of Hydra, which is a Captain America Black Panther game, has been delayed to a later date in 2026. So no idea when. We never even had an original release date, but just pushed back. Also, on the date of video games being released, Rockstar made an announcement saying, "Hi everyone, Grand Theft Auto 4 will now release on Thursday, November 19th, 2026. We are sorry for adding additional time to what we realize has been a long wait, but these extra months will allow us to finish the game with a level of polish you have come to expect and deserve." So, on that note, Rockstar, you guys had years to develop this game, because if I go back to when Grand Theft Auto 5 was released, 2013. So before this, they would release a new game like every 2 to 3 years. Like, when did Grand Theft Auto 4 come out? 2008, actually. So it was like every 5 years for newer systems, it looks like. But no, you guys decided to milk this franchise for all it's worth by implementing Grand Theft Auto Online. So this game originally came out on the PS3. This game has been on 3 different generations of systems. So it was on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Then they released it on the PS4 and the Xbox One. And now here we are on the PS5 and the Xbox Series XS. Because people keep buying everything online. So like I'm pretty sure they made like into like the triple digits of billions of dollars just for GTA Online alone. Can I even see? Nope. Yep. I was looking on the controversies, and nope, they were just talking about how some of the stuff in the games was just basically like torture. I mean, it's a video game. What do you expect in this Grand Theft Auto? So yeah, Rockstar is also probably going to try to increase the price to $100 on this game, because as we slowly been seeing over the years, like video games have been doing that. Like Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom was $70 as opposed to the $60 that it was for the Nintendo Switch, like every other Nintendo Switch game. But people have been making jokes about this delay, and everybody has been making it. You know, we got XYZ before we got GTA 6. So Discussing Film, which is a website that I usually get a majority of my news from, said that now we'll get Supergirl, Minions 3, Toy Story 5, The Odyssey, Scary Movie 6, Coyote vs. Acme, The Social Network 2, Spider-Man Brand New Day, The Hunger Games, Sunrise of the Weepings, and The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender before GTA 6. Which obviously makes sense. Guinness also threw a little bit of shade in there with the announcement of the game being delayed. So they said the current record for the longest development period for a video game is 14 years and 43 days. Officially announced in April 28, 1997, developed by 3D Realms, the first-person shooter Duke Nukem Forever was finally released on June 10th, 2011. So Guinness said, "We're watching you just in case we have to give you an award. You got another, 12 years and some days before, you guys can beat this award. Beat this record to get the award." And at this point, that might just be the case. But I'm going to take a break. W-Ad, be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Dubby. Dubby gives you focus and energy without the crash and jitters. It has no sugar, fillers, or artificial dyes. Mix 1 packet or scoop into 8 or 12 ounces of water. Stir or shake well. Some powderiness is normal, and it has all the important vitamins. So this has vitamin C, B3, B6, and B12. And it's made from coffee fruit extract. So drink it and go conquer a task. And go to Debbie.gg and use my promo code Angry Blerd 10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. That's Debbie.gg with promo code Angry Blerd 10.
So, video game adjacent news. I told you guys a couple months ago, maybe like a year ago. I don't remember because time is a weird concept to me. Mass Effect was getting a TV series, I believe, coming to Amazon Prime Video. Don't remember. But we got a brief detail on what the story is going to be. So, BioWare confirmed that this will be an original story that takes place after the trilogy not including Andromeda. So Mass Effect 1, 2, 3. After that, this is where the story takes place. I have the Mass Effect Legendary Collection and still haven't beat it. I'm not a fan of the first game, and apparently the first game is the least liked in the trilogy, so I might just have to skip that one and just play part 2. But it's been so long, I'm going to have to relearn the controls. And I have a legendary helmet that a former client gave me because he just wanted the steelbook and was going to throw away the game. Throw away the helmet. It's like, why would you buy a $100, $150 version of a game just for the steelbook and throw away the collectibles that come with it? So it was the helmet, the steelbook, the lithograph, and several lithographs actually. And it's just sitting in storage. And I hope I took the batteries out the helmet. I don't think they would be corroded because my storage unit has AC. So fingers crossed. All right. Millie Alcock, who we all know from House of the Dragon, is also playing Supergirl. Was Supergirl in 2025 Superman. Apparently, she was also doing a show called Sirens. What is this on? Or is this a movie? On Netflix, produced by Margot Robbie. Oh, it's a series. Maybe I'll check it out. Anyway, got an update on her career. She will be starring in a new movie with Toni Collette called Hot Mother. This is coming from Deadline. All we know is that the film follows a mother and daughter who visit a remote wellness spa, which gets turned into a fight for survival when they get trapped in a sauna. Okay, so title's a little bit on the nose. For starters, I get that you can get trapped in a sauna, but how? I gotta check this out. So I thought it was going to be like a panic room type situation when I saw like this. So somebody's obviously got it out for them. Sounds like an interesting plot, but don't know if I'll be reviewing that. I thought it was going to be like an action movie, but no. All right. This one kind of hurts my heart, but at the same time, I'm just like, you kind of did it to yourself. FUNKO might be going out of business. So they said they have substantial doubt about their ability to continue as a company in the next 12 months without extra funding or an acquisition because sales are continuing to decline. Of course, sales are continuing to decline. One of the things with FUNKO is you release too many freaking FUNKOs, and I don't know if you're doing it to keep the licensing or what, but you gotta stop. Like, there doesn't need to be like 15 different versions of a FUNKO Pop, okay? Just do one and done. You can re-release it like later on down the line, but like, perfect example, when I was doing the solicits for, I want to say it was either October or November, and I talked about like the Invincible FUNKO with the blood, so they had the blood variant and they had the clean variant. No, just do one, okay? And you can do variations on like certain FUNKOs. So like, perfect example, the Invincible, he has different suits. Do those. You don't need to like do Invincible with like different poses in the same suit. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you kind of did it to yourself. Like, and I buy FUNKOs. Like, I've bought several FUNKOs from Five Below, Walmart. I don't think I've ever bought any directly from the FUNKO store. I might have to do that. Get a personalized FUNKO like Loco did for his son. He got Deadpool and Wolverine for them. So I'm probably gonna do that for myself. See if I can get like a Power Ranger FUNKO or something like that. Anyway, my next story, I saw this and I was like, okay, what the hell is going on right now? So Jeremy Renner has been in some hot water over the years. His ex-wife accused him of domestic abuse. That pretty much got swept under the rug. And now, Yi Zhu, who worked on a documentary with him for Disney, says that he threatened to call ICE on her after they had a relationship. So she spammed her Instagram account this week, showing WhatsApp receipts for conversations with Jeremy Renner, as well as other graphics with long captions detailing her side of their relationship. So they worked together on the Chronicles of Disney documentary that she directed, which explored the legacy of the Walt Disney Company, as well as an animated feature. They had a relationship. Apparently they broke up sometime, like, I guess this year, last year, something like that. So she wrote, in June 2025, out of the blue, I received 2 photos of Jeremy Renner and then a string of unwanted, unsolicited pornographic images of himself via DM and WhatsApp. And that was his introduction to me. So she continued to post stuff. She said that this experience really shows the dark side of Hollywood and a smear campaign to deter women and Asian female filmmakers in general. And she said, I am appalled but happy to read so many support from friends and media that will continue to uncover domestic abuse of women, and unwanted solicitation, porn attack against innocent young women. I love Hollywood, but we need to stop the cover-up for misconduct affecting other women. She also claimed that she did not pursue a relationship with him. She said that he used me and denied our work. So she said that, he was sending dick pics. She gave all this information to the Daily Mail as well. So I will actually post a link there. If you want to actually see that. It was just a lot. It was just like very crazy. Just stop, okay? My next story is simply an update on Lanterns. So apparently Lanterns has been delayed and now will come out after Supergirl. I'm glad that this doesn't have anything to, do with Supergirl. But what's up with these delays? That's what I want to know. Like, there really hasn't been any information given on why I was delayed. But that's all we got. All right, my next story, a franchise, once again, that I really didn't watch. It's kind of like the same situation as The Mummy, except with this one, I know for a fact I never saw the first one. Gremlins is coming back 35 years later after Chris Columbus directed the new batch. So it will be coming out November 19th, 2027. Once again, Gremlins was one of those things I never really watched, like, from beginning to end. Like, I know for a fact I'd never seen the first one. I've always seen bits and pieces of the second one. I remember Gizmo being attacked by the Gremlins. And then, he goes full Rambo, puts on the bandana and everything. I remember the female gremlin. Who doesn't remember the female gremlin? The female gremlin still gets used in memes to this day. But I don't remember jack diddly squat about that movie. I cannot tell you anything about that movie from beginning to end besides those 2 parts I just said. Didn't they go into a movie theater or something like that as well? I don't know, because once again, I didn't grow up watching Gremlins. I was always watching Back to the Future, Star Wars, Terminator 2 whenever that was on TV. But for some reason, I never watched Gremlins. I don't know what it was, but I just didn't do it. So I like Chris Columbus. He directed a good chunk of the Harry Potter movies. He directed Home Alone. He directed several movies that I'm pretty sure that I saw in my childhood. I don't think I've seen any movies he's directed in my adulthood. But I'm going to go to his filmography real quick. So let's start with 84. Well, let's go with movies he directed for starters. So never saw Adventures in Babysitting. Never saw Heartbreak Hotel. Obviously saw Home Alone. Didn't see Only the Lonely. Movie stars John Candy. Never seen it or heard of it. Home Alone 2, yes. Mrs. Doubtfire, yes. 9 Months, no. Stepmom, no. Bicentennial Man, yes. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, yes. Chamber of Secrets, yes. Rent, yes. I Love You, Beth Cooper, yes. Didn't even know he directed that. Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, yes. Pixels, no. So basically, the last movie I saw directed by him was in 2010. So I didn't see Pixels, I didn't see The Christmas Chronicles 2, and I did not see Thursday Murder Club. This came out in August. Didn't even hear about this. It's on Netflix apparently. Stars Helen Mirren, Pierce Brosnan, Binks Kingsley, and somebody named Celine Emery. Oh, I'm definitely going to check this out now. David Tennant's in it. So cool. That's all I had to hear. David Tennant's in it. I'm all for it. All right. So this is the elephant in the room, and it's just very weird because I'm hearing a lot of, conflicting stories. So the Daily Mail posted some stuff on November 2nd saying that Millie Bobby Brown filed a harassment and bullying claim report against David Harbour during the production of season 5 of Stranger Things. So they said that the actress included pages and pages in her complaint, none of which were sexual in nature. So this actually happened on Saturday. So a person with knowledge of the situation told the Daily Mail that Millie Bobby Brown filed a harassment and bullying claim before they started shooting the last season. Harbour reportedly faced an internal inquiry, the outcome of which was unknown. The Daily Mail said none of the complaints were sexual in nature. Netflix declined to comment. But I don't know, because they just had the red carpet premiere and they were all hugged up and everything. So I don't know if it was like a situation where, Harbour was frustrated with her acting or what. But Sean Levy even said like this isn't true. But David Harbour's obviously been in the news a lot lately because he was married to Lily Allen, who I know as a one-hit wonder for having a song in like the early 2000s called Smile. She's an actress as well. She was on a show I was watching that starred one of my favorite Doctor Who companions, Freema Agyeman's, called Dreamland. But they just got divorced because he broke the agreed upon boundaries of their marriage. So she just released an album and spilled all the tea about, why are you having an affair in an open marriage? Just talk to me. And, but I don't know. Hopefully this doesn't mess up his career in any way, shape, or form, because like I said, Harbour and Millie Bobby Brown were, hugged up buddy at the premiere. And so the news with the Daily Mail is very tricky. Sometimes it's true. They're basically a borderline tabloid at this point, which is weird because I get a lot of my news from them as far as things that happen outside of the US. So it's just okay, I don't know what to trust now. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and hit the spoiler alert because I will be talking about episode 6 of season 4 of Stranger Things, which is titled The Dive, directed by Nimrod Anthol, written by Curtis Gwynn. So 11 is still in the middle of the Nina Project, reliving memories of her time in the Hawkins lab, where she meets the orderly who tells her not to trust Brenner. She also recalls, being bullied by the other test subjects, leading her to think that she is responsible for killing all of them. Meanwhile, in Russia, Hopper is telling all the other prisoners, hey, go ahead and eat up, enjoy this food, because it's going to be your last meal, because we are not going to fight whatever, Russia has to make it stronger. We're basically as entertainment. So him and Dimitri, whatever you want to call the guard, never remember his name, basically get in a fight, and that allows Hopper to steal a lighter. And he tells them, yeah, it's called a Demogorgon. It really doesn't have that many weaknesses besides fire. Our California gang of Will, Mike, Jonathan, and Argyle make it to Susie's house, and she tells them that her computer was taken by her father because she felt guilty about helping Justin cheat on his report card, and that he is an agnostic while she's a Mormon. That house is very Brady Bunch-like, so they come up with a plan to get him away from the computer, to track the IP address to the Nino Project, and she gets the address with him. Meanwhile, Argyle is making out with one of Susie's sisters. Can we just agree that Susie is the GOAT of the last 2 seasons? Meanwhile, our Hawkins gang, they find Eddie at Skull Rock, which is basically north, and Steve's like, it's not north, follow me this way. That leads Dustin to realize that his compass is out of whack, and the only time that Dustin's compass is out of whack is if there's a gate nearby, and they pretty much track the gate to the lake where our older kids of Steve, Robin, Eddie, and Nancy, all basically go to the lake. Steve is going to do a deep dive to find the gate, which he does, reports back to everybody, gets pulled under. Nancy jumps in after him. Then Robin jumps in after her. And then Eddie eventually jumps in after him. Meanwhile, Steve is pulled into the Upside Down, and I remember watching this episode, and I was like, is this, if anybody's ever seen Hot Tub Time Machine, and you see Crispin Glover's character in the prison, he's missing his arm, and throughout the entire time of them being back in the 80s, Rob Codger's like, is this where he loses his arm? Is this where he loses his arm? Because, fun fact, the Duffer Brothers were originally going to kill Steve at the end of season 1, when they're fighting the Demogorgon in Jonathan's house. But they decided, we like Joe Keery, we're not going to kill him, because it was also supposed to be an anthology series. So that was supposed to be an isolated story, but here we are now, same characters almost a decade later, 5 seasons, whatever. So I was thinking, is this where they kill Steve? Because Steve has always had so many freaking brushes with death. And now even going into season 5, like I'm even freaking getting goosebumps talking about like, is this where is Steve going to die in season 5? Because I really feel like they're finally going to kill Steve, but I don't know. Jason basically goes full vigilante by telling everyone in Hawkins that, the Hellfire Club is, giving sacrifices to the Dark Lord, and causes everyone to go full vigilante. He's like, yeah, it's a cult, whatever. But yeah, Dustin made a water gate joke. But very good episode. I forgot how good this episode was, and I don't know why I thought Steve was going to get attacked in the water, as opposed to being pulled through the gate and attacked by the Demobats. I really thought those Demofish were going to attack him. But I don't know. I'm tripping. Anyway, I am going to talk about Frankenstein. Okay, so forgot this was even out until I saw it on one of my sites where I get my movies, because I was like, wait, isn't it supposed to be in theaters and it's coming out mid-November? But no, it was in theaters mid-October and hit Netflix at the beginning of the month. So, written and directed by Guillermo del Toro, obviously based on the Frankenstein novel by Mary Shelley. The full title is Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus. Stars Oscar Isaac, Mia Goth, Jacob Elordi, Felix Kammer, David Bradley, Lars Mikkelsen, Kristen Convery, Charles Dance, and Christoph Waltz. So, this is actually the first Frankenstein movie I've ever seen in my life. Never saw any of the original Boris Karloff movies. Never saw the one with Robert De Niro, despite the fact that my aunt is a huge Robert De Niro fan. side story. I remember being a kid in the 1900s and 90s. She had a framed photo of Robert De Niro, and it was just insane. Like, I don't know if she knew he had a thing for black women or what, but she was, kind of hoping that maybe, she would have a shot. But that's neither here nor there. But she had the Frankenstein cassette. She had the book when they reprinted it with Robert De Niro on the cover as the monster. But very good movie. My only issue with this movie was I felt like it was a half hour too long, because Guillermo del Toro, as much as I love his movies, although I did not watch Pan's Labyrinth or The Shape of Water, Blade 2, Hellboy, yes. I just felt like some scenes, like they just stayed on a character or a specific thing for too long. Like you could have trimmed that down just a little bit, just like very much well sauteed it and keep it nice. But this movie was 2 hours and 32 minutes. That's with the credits. And there's a 45 minute documentary on the making of the movie. But Oscar Isaac did his thing. Mia Goth did her thing. I really I've never read Frankenstein or The Modern Prometheus. But like I said, my only issue was I just felt like the runtime was just a bit too long. Jacob Elordi did his thing. I really feel like since Netflix put this in theaters for a limited release, they are going to try to get him an Oscar nomination, and honestly, he deserves it. Only thing I ever saw Jacob Elordi in was Euphoria. I keep meaning to check out Saltburn on Prime Video, but I actually just canceled my Prime subscription because I wanted to I want the money to come out on like either the day I get paid or like the day after. But very good movie. I have no notes besides the simple fact that I just felt like it was just a little bit too long. But I did not know he was that tall. He is apparently 6'5", and he's one of those people who looks 6'5". Like The Rock is 6'5", but The Rock doesn't look 6'5". I don't know if it's because Jacob is like a very lean individual, but I'm like, how tall is this man? So I had to like Google it. And I almost recorded this podcast like 2 o'clock in the morning because, like I said, I have stuff to do today. But I couldn't stay up that late. I needed my sleep. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I will give this a 9. Like I said, if you would have cut out like maybe like a good 15, 30 minutes or so, it would have been a tight movie. And I like the simple fact that I like when movies do the end is the beginning and the beginning is the end. So we started with a prelude, which basically jumped us into the last like half hour of the movie. And then, we get the situation of the creature, because he's not Frankenstein. Everyone calls him Frankenstein. Attacking a landlocked boat of people who are trying to find Victor Frankenstein, who's played by Oscar Isaac. They find him, and he tells the story of the creature that is pursuing him. And then eventually the creature makes his way on the boat after Victor told his side of the story to the captain. And then you see part 2 of everything from the creature's perspective, like following the end of Victor's story. And I'm glad there wasn't a lot of like time jumps per se, like Eternals, where you got stuff in the present but you keep going back to the past and then looping back up to the present. No, it's just a straight linear story. It's like, okay, he told his side, let me tell my side, and then we just see it from there and leading up to that point. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for me. Check out Frankenstein. Just don't watch it like late at night, because like I said, the movie was 2.5 hours long. I did not expect it to be that long. Anyway, guys, that was another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Go to w.gg, use my promo code AngryBlerd10 at checkout. So next week will be the 3rd episode of It, Welcome to Derry, episode 7 of season 4 of Stranger Things, and Predator Badlands. All right, love y'all. Be easy. Peace.